All right, let's get right into it. We're about to uncover some of the most powerful and important words in the entire English language. But here's the thing, they're probably not the words you're thinking of.
So let's start with a number, 50%. What do you think that represents when it comes to the English language? Half of all the people who speak it? Maybe half of all the books ever written? Nope. The real answer is, well, it's way more fundamental. And honestly, it's kind of a mind bender.
Because to unlock that 50%, you only need to know this many words. 100. That's it. Seriously, just 100 words. And with those, you can understand half of pretty much everything written in English. I know what you're thinking. How is that even possible? It sounds like some kind of trick, right? But it's not. It's a straight-up statistical fact. Let's call it the 100-word secret. It's this amazing shortcut to getting to the very core of the language.
And check this out. This is where the power is really, truly concentrated. The research is just wild. The first 25 words, they make up a third of everything you'll read. A whole third. Get to 100 words and boom, you're at that 50% mark. And if you push it to 300 words, you're looking at 65% of the language covered. It's like finding a cheat code for English.
Okay, but numbers this specific, it begs the question, right? How on earth does anyone figure this stuff out? This isn't just a guess, you know? It comes from some pretty serious data science.
I mean, think about it. Counting every single word ever written, that just sounds impossible. But of course, linguists have a tool for that. A really clever and really big tool.
And that tool is called a text corpus. The easiest way to think about it is like a gigantic digital library of language itself. It's this huge, searchable database of text that lets researchers see how we actually talk and write in the real world, not just what a dictionary says we should do.
And when I say massive, I am not kidding. The main source for all this is the Oxford English Corpus, and it has over 2 billion words with a B, and they're pulling from everywhere you can imagine. Classic novels, blogs, academic journals, chat logs, even your emails and government debates. So you know the data isn't skewed. It's reflecting the whole messy, beautiful spectrum of the English language.
All right, so now we know how they count all this stuff. It's time for the big reveal. Let's meet the what. Who are these tiny giants, these super common, and because of that, super powerful words?
You ready for this? The number one most used word in all of English is, drumroll please, the. Yep, followed by be, to, of, and. I know, it's not exactly Shakespeare, right? But don't let that simplicity fool you for a second. These words aren't just words. They're like the invisible nuts and bolts holding the entire language together. Just look at this. This really puts it into perspective, showing just how critical those nuts and bolts are. You've got the first 100 words on one side, and on the other side, every other word in the entire English language. And when you look at how often they're used, it's a perfect split, 50-50. That's astounding to me.
And you know what's even cooler? Their history. It turns out pretty much all of these top 100 words are ancient. We're talking Old English, Old Norse. They are the absolute bedrock of our language. Only a handful, like people and because, snuck in from Latin much later.
Okay, so they're simple, they're common, they're old. Got it. But where does all this power come from? The secret isn't actually in the words themselves. It's in their hidden complexity and the amazing ways we use them. So first we've got to think about words a little differently. Linguists have this term lexeme, which is basically a word's whole family. So when they count the word be, they're not just looking for be, they're counting all its forms. Am, is, are, was, were. You see? One single lexeme can cover a ton of ground. And this right here, this is what makes these words the ultimate Swiss Army knives of language. The fancy term is polysemy, but it just means one word can have a bunch of different meanings. And get this, the average word in that top 100 list, it has over 15 distinct meanings. 15!
Let's take a perfect example, the word out. It's number 43 on the list. Think about it. It can mean direction, right? Let's go out. It can mean escape, break out, or removal, like when you're out at baseball. And the data shows it's part of more than 560 different phrasal verbs. That is just incredible flexibility packed into one tiny two-letter word.
Okay, so this has been a really fun linguistic deep dive, right? But what's the point? What's the practical takeaway for you?
Why does any of this matter? Well, it all boils down to one simple idea: working smarter, not harder.
Think about it. If you're learning English, or hey, even if you're just trying to be a better communicator, you've got two choices. You could try to learn every single new word you come across. That's the quantity approach. Or you could focus your energy on these super common, high-frequency words first. That's the impact approach.
It's kind of like a game of Scrabble, right? These 100 words are your most valuable tiles. They're not the fancy, high-scoring ones, but they're the foundational pieces, the ones you can use over and over and over again to build sentences, connect your ideas, and really get the core of any conversation or anything you read. So at the end of the day, mastering this tiny, tiny fraction of English isn't just about memorizing some boring list. No, it's about getting your hands on a skeleton key, a key that can unlock the door to understanding almost everything you'll ever encounter in the language.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. These 100 words, they're simple, they're ancient, and they're unbelievably flexible. They're the very skeleton of our language. So what do you think? What does their simplicity and their incredible lasting power tell us about what we really value most when we communicate?